Well, today that we're doing our first, I guess the customer just wants a patch, you know, just so that way they can get back here. They got 4-wheel drives. They just want to make it more. It says right here, it's like this all the way down. You got mosquitoes out early in the morning. So see how this, they just put a bunch of stuff in there to patch it up so that way they can get back here. So now they're wanting us to get in here and clean it up, and this goes probably about a mile. So when it's like this is the start of it. So this is what it kind of looks like. So we've got the Mini, and I brought the mulcher, but as of right now the mulcher's stuck to it since that's all I keep it to, and there's so much mulch packed up behind it, so I can't get the mulcher off to put a bucket on there, so that way I can get in here and scrape this stuff up. So we got Chris with the smoke machine. It's smoking out everything. So we fixed the injector, but as of right now it still smokes, but it's got its power, but it just smokes a lot. Well, we're almost halfway. So we got this. We're going to try to open it up a little bit so that way that sun can dry it out, but we're also going to grab all this excess stuff, throw it out further away, and then there we go. And then we're going to expand it over here so that way he has several different areas he can drive onto if he has to. He said just make it to where we can get back here. Now it's not able to get back here because it's so mushy and all that. It's got a lot of rock underneath. So almost halfway. And then what's great about it is it's so rocky, and it's got a good layer underneath. He's just got a bunch of small rocks like that, but end up being a bunch of them underneath. So yeah, I think after we do this, right in here will be halfway. But now we got all this stuff, so we're going to put rock all the way down so that way it'll hold underneath. It'd be nice to get 2 layers so that way it won't just that right there, but we may have to come in and scrape so that way we can get in there. We got to push a couple of these out of the way. But this probably right in here we're probably going to scrape to make 2 lanes, so that way if they have to turn around, you know, like there's a tree down, they don't have to back all the way up. kind of see the mud come right in here. So this was the smoothest, other than back to that way, back towards the house, which we kind of threw everything. I just kind of came in here, mulched best I could. Then I'm gonna have the Mini X to kind of scrape all this bigger stuff, so it kind of weeds out all the dead stuff, so it'll make it look a little better for the customer. So we're gonna scrape everything out, go back into places where I need to, which we hit rock yesterday, all day yesterday. And I mean, these are absolutely shredded. I mean, that's with us grinding like we should, but there's just so much stone. I mean, it's completely just curled them. You can kind of see right there where they're pitting. But I mean, it's shredding pretty good, especially if it's not a hardwood. So kind of come back in here, throw that stuff on top of the piles. And then right down here is the pond. So even with dull knives, it still does amazing job. I'd say we have over at least 60 hours of hard, sharpening, you know, like you're supposed to keep them sharpened every 4 hours, which we'd get busy, which because due to the 315 being a, I say weak mulcher, I guess, for, you know, for its year, it does good. But I want something a little bit better, but you know what, I gotta do what I gotta do. Thought that was a snake. Piece of cable. So back here I can mulch another width. So here's the pond, you can kind of see it back here. So it's gonna be a little rough because it's got little 4-inch freaking rocks hanging out, so I have to be careful. But this is where they want to spend their summers, so that way they can get back here where it's a lot cleaner. So we're going to push it back another, so he's going through and grubbing a little bit. So back here he's got it piled up. So doing a good job so far. This is our first kind of a driveway or a back road, or there's the pond right there for patching. Well, got the Mini back here, which it's end of the day, and I still got a little bit of hardwoods to clean up, a little bit of twigs and chunks here and there, but we cleaned up most of the pond. They had like a bunch of that shrubbery stuff right there. Went on the other side of the pond, cleaned up a little bit, and then cleaned up through here. So we're headed back to the truck for tomorrow to come back, so that way we can get a good start on everything else, get here early before it gets hot. Finally got down to the end of the property, and it's starting to get a little bit of a wind gust, which is amazing because it is super hot. Got around the pond, got around the embankment. Whatever trees that grow out and up was a nightmare because it was so wet next to the bank. But we got it cleaned up, and then we had a bunch of piles where they kind of cleaned all the embankment just a little bit, and then around here, and they had a big pile over here too, so they just made big piles. Got them mulched up, and then I trimmed some of the trees that over the overhang, because this is the spot, the reason why we're here. So I took out more than he was kind of wanting. He was just enough to get in here and park a couple vehicles, which I done enough for my truck and trailer to come in here. So it just took a while because it was super rocky. I mean, there was mounds of rocks everywhere. You can kind of see right here. And it's that hard rock too. I mean, there's chunks like this everywhere. If it wasn't, then we made it. So cleaned up right here so that way they can turn around, or you know, whatever they need to do. But that pond is beautiful now. Just needed a little bit of cleaning. You can see all the rocks, big chunks. Had a lot of cedar. There's nothing but cedars and hardwoods on this property. So we tried to get best we could. It looks like grass and dirt, but when you start rolling with a skid steer, it was absolutely just like you have no suspension, so it was just bouncing all over the place. So it made it rough for the mulcher, which these teeth are probably shredded completely. We're going to try to at least get a couple more jobs that has these kind of rocks, so that way we can, you know, save on the teeth, or get a few more uses out of the teeth. And it's all downhill and it goes uphill, so it's then all that we also had to scrape, but it was kind of hard because it dips right here just a little bit. But I came over here and scraped it off, so that way it'll have a waterway to, so that way if it comes a hard downpour, and it's damp too, so you can kind of see how dark it is. But well, I mean, we could stay here and, you know, stuff like that we could pull over and mulch, but he is a 3-hour drive from here, so he's got a vacation property here, and he was here for a couple days, so that's why we're trying to get done what needs to be done first. You can see we came in and scraped a little too much, but it was just so rocky, it was just bouncing off of it. But this is the finish he was really wanting, was the mulch finish. So now it dampens all the growth for a while. And then we took the Mini X and pushed a bunch of the pines that was leaning towards the road, and we also made it wide enough to where he said just make it wider is all I want, so just take out whatever you have to. So we did. Now you couldn't even see how far it was. Now you can see right there where the water's at, so you can kind of see the rocks. It was all hidden underground. You hit the grass and then there it was. I mean, this is all this is right here. We couldn't make it look good, but we tried to push the stuff out as far as we could, so that way snakes and stuff like that won't be too close to the road. Hole. But the worst spots was that over there where I had to scrape it, and it was enough for your car to sink down into, and that's the reason why he wanted it fixed, so that way he can get back here without any problem. So we scraped some of this where all the water runs off, and the water run right here, so I made it to where it would run off a lot easier. If it didn't, it would go out that way. So, but I told him it's gonna have to dry out, so that way you can actually form where you want it to go. A bunch of rocks here. So we had to push it out because there's just, it don't look like much, but there's constant rocks, thick rocks. And he wants us to do this, but it's got a bunch of rocks, so most of it has to be pulled and then mulched. So hopefully we got a couple spots. You can see some big old boulders right there, some right there, there. I mean, it's just absolutely everywhere. This is the most mushy part. I mean, I can't really do much with it. It just, so I'm gonna let it dry out just a little bit longer and then wait till the last minute, take the mini and pack some of these rocks into the low areas and then push the dirt on top. But I'm gonna try to take all this stuff and garbage that was dumped from the previous owner. So a bunch of rocks out here, so we're just gonna kind of pack it down and let it go from there. And then we also got some to do over here, which I'm gonna pick this up because that's how he got over here. Now we're cleaning up behind the house because he wants to see the view of the property next to him, because it's got a beautiful lake, but it's also the mountains. So, and we're gonna clean this up right here. There's like some overhangs. He's got an old-timey smoker. And Chris is just right here. There's a storm shelter right here, and then there's the log cabin. So he's just right behind there. So he's just opened it up so that way they can see how far they can mulch all this up. That's what we got going on today. Customer got us some pizza. Very thankful for that. And of course the removable top, nice, easy. So it's absolutely hot. Well, today's a good day. Today's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday, and we had the job lined up for Wednesday through Friday, but we got done a little faster, but because the customer's leaving early, or I guess early, or whenever we got done with what he wanted to, and he lives 3 hours away. So just wanted to show you what Chris done a while ago. Just a few minutes ago, we just, you know, kept going. This is why the gates on the front of the mulchers are important. Yeah, that's why. My boy Chris, Lord help him. You know, spit out the window now. So we're gonna try to, I picked up that big rock over there. You can't see it. You go through the window. As soon as I picked it up, the rest of it blew out. So I took the old cedar piece and knocked the rest of it out. So it's got all kinds of shards. So trying to make an exit for my trailer, so that way I can back in. I was going to try to take all this out, but obviously he wants to keep the trees over here, so I'm going to try to make a way I can back in this little area. So I'm going to try to get all this glass cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and get it cleaned up. Yeah. I don't think I recorded the first thing he busted. I had the video for the 57X Kubota Mini X. He busted the top glass, like the top glass is missing out of this one, but he didn't do this one. But That's the door cost us $5,050 for the 57X. So we got this left, wrapping up the last bit of the job. That's the fence. There's all kinds of stuff back here. A lot of cedar too. Place is gonna smell good. So the a bunch of barbed wire out here, so, and a bunch of rocks. So I got everything piled up, and I gotta take that cedar down right over there. There's a fence post, so we're thinking the fence post is out this way. Now the mulching teeth, the Romex knives for the HM315 is finally shredded. Takes a lot longer to mulch it up. Pull some of this stuff over here, and then we're gonna put it right here. So you can go ahead and start mulching all this, and then
those look like carbides now. They're just like
yeah,
like
we hitting those hard rocks. It's killing it. Oh yeah. Well, we got a little bit of back dragging right here, a little bit more cleanup around the trees since we pulled everything, chopped it down, which this is what we got to worry about, some rock. But I mean, this is what it's leaving, little stringies. I mean, these teeth are absolutely wore out to the point now it don't even want to cut, but it's shredding still. I don't know what tree that is. That thing hard as a rock, and it won't even cut, so I'm having to take this and then move it out somewhere. Now he's just back dragging to clean it up. Then we should be ready to head home. That one's hard too, I don't know what that is. It's yeller. Absolutely hard as a rock. A bit more back dragging, especially when it's a lot of dirt. Makes it harder to get down in there. all finished up. There's a bunch of debris, bunch of rocks, big old rocks, tin, barbed wire, all that good stuff. See a bunch of concrete chunks, bunch of metal. What we just kind of cut off right here. This is what he wants. All he wants done. Then we're gonna work down the driveway. So now we get ready to leave. Call it a day.